And on your way out, don't forget to help yourself to the bucket of crawdads. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So CNN's Caitlin Collins revealed staffers secretly dread traveling with President Trump because he does not sleep. Conversely, Biden staffers dreaded traveling with Joe because he does not wipe. It's day 8 of the government shutdown. It's getting scary. They're already considering getting a backup generator for Mitch McConnell. They say the shutdown could cost the economy approximately $15 billion a week. To put that in perspective, that's $15 billion more than Kilmeade's book sales. Yeah. After receiving criticism for height shaming, AOC now claims she actually loves short people. In fact, she's hiding 3 of them in her ass. It's a compliment. KFC is once again offering its original honey barbecue flavor. In a related story, guess who just bought 4 metric tons of napkins? According to a new study, our brains only have the capacity to deal with 150 friends. Well, you still have 149 to go, Jesse. I counted his wife as a friend. Oh. Not the kids, though. They hate him. An Ohio zoo is asking the public to name its newborn baby rhino. You know, ABC did the same thing after they adopted 5 new dairy cows. Never fails. Why stop? J.B. Pritzker says President Trump deploying troops to Chicago is due to his obsessive fixations. Yeah, this from the guy who every time he steps on a crack, he has to eat a pizza. Meanwhile, Trump says Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson should be in jail. Yeah. Why? But why those two? Well, in case Pritzker gets hungry. And finally, James Comey was arraigned today regarding federal charges of lying to Congress. You know, just for fun, they should give him this many days. So apparently Democrats have a new plan to win back young men. And it's not inventing a time machine to undo the last 8 years where dudes wore muumuus and a dead guy was elected president. The party is testing everything from beer ads to left-wing influencers. In other words, they're trying to rebrand a bad product instead of putting out a good one. They're even trying something called gym outreach. Yeah, gym outreach, which, by the way, was my stage name when I made those films to pay my way through community college. Those were the days. Democrat operatives are paying left-leaning fitness influencers to create online content. Think about that. They're paying guys to pretend that they're masculine liberals. And here I thought that was what Hollywood was for. But the same guys who called physical fitness white supremacy now pretend that they like the bench press. Finally, a transition that doesn't make you cut anything off except the carbs. But give the Dems some credit. At least they're finally recognizing that their typical male supporter is a smelly life support system for a man bun. I mean, you know you're in trouble when your Rambo is Beto O'Rourke. And if this is your party's answer to Clint Eastwood, yeah. No wonder Democrat men start menstruating. And this is your action hero? He banged the first girl who ever talked to him. And she did it because she was a spy. Now, it's good they're hitting the gym, but we do it for ourselves, not for political advantage. There's a difference there. Republicans go because we like work, we like strength, we like winning, we like women doing lunges and Lululemons. And look, I mean, look at me. You think all this happens without hours at the gym? Shout out to my personal trainer, Seth. Yeah. Don't wait up. But once again, Trump is lifting up Americans, including his opponents. Guys that look like David Hogg, or a hog, period, are going to the gym now just to beat Trump. But this gym, it could be a doorway to the logic of hard work. Maybe the left won't resent people that succeed if they see what happens when they succeed. How soon before they discover other healthy habits like proper hygiene and not eating your body weight in bear claws? And it's helping female Democrats too, who now realize that a guy who looks like Pete Hegseth and can carry the groceries is far more preferable to their soy-flavored emotional support animals, whose idea of pleasing a woman in the bedroom is to vacuum it. Of course, you're gonna have to know exactly what a woman is or dudes will split. Because young men, they like young women too, a lot, especially the ones without penises. So change is afoot. Suddenly, the Dems are like, wait, these Republican guys are strong and confident. Maybe we overcorrected. A little toxicity is kind of hot. And maybe being a helpless, perpetual whiner isn't the path to happiness. We call that growth. And the first step is admitting you were wrong. The second step is admitting you were wrong again, because I never get tired of hearing it. But also, why not unblock all your conservative loved ones and admit that they're not Hitler, even those with an undescended testicle?
What? So not right. I'd storm off if Katie Porter didn't beat me to it.
I'll be finished in a little bit, young man.
Thank you very much.
And even if the liberals' fitness is driven by politics, who cares? They'll soon discover testosterone. Then along with it, logic and reason, and poof, they're wearing khakis and voting Republican. Fact is, you can't... Hold your applause. Till we meet later. Fact is, you can't be into fitness and into socialism, gender ideology, or open borders. There is no redistribution at the gym. You can't take someone else's well-earned muscles. And you can't tell everyone that your scrawny biceps identify as 20-inch pythons. And you can't work out at a good gym unless you're a member. But that's the hidden genius of Trump. He doesn't just make America great again, he makes his enemies better too. By leaving the left in the dust, he's raised the bar, which has forced them to start lifting it. Let's welcome tonight's guest. The original name of his show was One Nation Hates Him. Host of One Nation and Fox and Friends, Brian Kilmeade. She went from interviewing Smashing Pumpkins to digesting prunes. Host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. He calls ICE on his comedy show so that someone will show up. Comedian Adam Hunter. And when the FBI spied on her phone, they only got info on how to poison your boss. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor, Cat Too. You know, Brian, I know physical fitness and looking good is not really your thing, but do you think that it's okay to fake fitness to reach voters? Is that a weird thing?
First off, I had to get paid for those 2 appearances during your monologue, which I knew nothing about. First off, I dare you mess with my upper body. I am clean shaven, I'm defined, I have great biceps, my deltoids that I kill for, not even to bring up my triceps, but I digress. First off, let's talk about authenticity. You have RFK, who was fit before he was HHS secretary. Pete Hegseth walked around here with a tank top and tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
We always knew how fit he was.
You know
But
it.
you have Javier Becerra and Lloyd Austin. Let me ask you, who bleeds fitness? It is, of course, these guys. They were cheering for Donald Trump at UFC events before he thought about running for president. He loves golf. He shows up at the Ryder Cup. It becomes a frat party. This is all very authentic and sincere. This is who they are. The problem is they spend $10 million. Am I going too long? They spend $10 million on a focus group to find out why Democrats are bleeding men. $10 million. All they have to find out is what men want and what they stand for, and then work through that lane. The one thing that Trump has brought, you have to be authentic, you have to be yourself. He's tough, he's crude, he is insulting, but that's who he is, and America embraces it. And these other people trying to do that is the problem. Schumer cursed today. Schumer hasn't cursed since 1981.
Yeah, he's like Burgess Meredith from the Batman series, but on life support. Kennedy, there is that phrase, fake it till you make it. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Do you think that Democrats can fake being into something that guys like until they make it? I'm not crazy about the idea of I feel like they have the equation reversed. It's like we're interested in Trump. It's not like they can just suddenly make us interested in them.
It's like trying to fake the male orgasm. And they'll probably do that too.
Perfect answer.
No, you were on the 5 earlier, and I'm surprised you didn't have that take on there.
I did. They bleep me. I'm always getting censored. But this is from the party that, you know, when Pete Hegseth came out and said, we have to have standards of physical fitness in the military in order to be lethal and effective and feared. And it was the Democrats on MSNBC were like, oh my God, that is so sizist and disgusting. So you're telling me that you want women to do difficult things in the military in order to complete tasks so they can compete on the global stage? What is wrong with you, you monster? And it's like demonizing physical fitness. They're like these poor generals. So you're telling me you want the people who lead the military to be able to do the physical fitness standards that other people in the military have to kill themselves trying to do? What is wrong with you? So it's like you've already shown what you despise.
Right.
And you can't, it is so, to Brian's point and his undescended testicle, it is so inauthentic the next day to be like, oh my God, I think going to the gym is great, right? Like, I go here. It's so natural.
It's almost like, Adam, you would understand this. It's almost like a racist saying there, oh, I love black people. You get that.
Oh, all the time. Look, I mean, to your point, I think everyone should try to get in shape. Like, I'm on this new diet called Get Fatter Friends, where I just hang out. But I do think that, like, I don't get my politics from a fitness influencer, just like I don't get my fitness from Chris Christie.
Yes.
You know, and I think people should stay out of it because I think it gets to be too much. Pretty soon you're going to be watching a porn, and the guy in the middle of it is going to be like, I'm getting an STD right now, but that's okay because Republicans are taking away my health care. It just... It's just like, but I do like that they're doing, like, guys like Gavin Newsom are doing, like, this bro podcast because it's exposing them. Mm-hmm. Like he said, I'm a Swiftie, but he can't name one Taylor Swift song.
Yes.
Which is like saying, I use deodorant, but I'm French.
So, Kat, I'm trying to think, is there like an analogy of liberals Republicans invading like a liberal bastion and saying, if we just hang out here, you know what I mean? It feels like they're poaching. They're trying to poach people, but it's not working.
I don't feel like Democrats need to go to the gym. I think they just need to go somewhere.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't feel like it should be that complicated.
Yeah, you're right.
Instead of maybe sitting around, like, running analytics on men, why don't you just go out and meet them?
Right.
Like, they're not like mythical creatures in a forest. You can just you can just go talk to dudes.
Yes, it's not that hard.
You don't have to. It's actually too easy.
Yeah,
it's harder to not talk to dudes than it is to talk.
Just
to dudes.
unbutton the top button. It works for me.
But they're acting like that. You need to like create men in a laboratory and then like run tests on them. Just go outside. Go to a place where people are. But you have to talk, and you also have to listen. Mm-hmm. You have to listen without looking for a thing where it's like, well, actually, this thing you said. You have to just listen.
Yeah, but it's you know what? You're saying it's easy to go outside, but that might be the number one issue is that they don't like going outside in general.
No. Well, who does?
Yeah, that's true. Outside sucks. Thank God we invented the inside. What were they doing before there was inside? Outside all the time. Hey, you can't go home. There's no home.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.